Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Joey, and welcome back to another video here on my channel. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys a real special build, a build that I think can be used in any situation in the game. It's a jack of all trades, a real powerhouse, a real speed demon, and that is going to be this Titania build that I'm going to be showing you guys today. Titania is a fantastic Warframe with amazing survivability and also fantastic damage output and speed. Extremely fast frame. If you're looking to speed run anything in the game, as far as just getting through the map as fast as possible, nothing is going to beat Titania. Titania is the queen of speed. So yeah, I just want to mention that I'm going to be showing you guys one build today. It is not going to be a Sunder Exterminate build, and it is not going to be my Spy Cheese build. If you are interested in the Spy Cheese build where you could teleport the MOA through walls to hack terminals for you, you can go check that video out on my channel. But in this video, we're going to be focusing on damage, survivability, going fast, being able to take this frame into any mission that you want. So getting into the build, this is what the build's going to look like. Now, there's a few things here that I want you to understand. We are running Breed for Spite because we are actually running catalyzing shields in this build. Unlike a lot of the builds, or I think this might be the first catalyzing shield build I might be putting on my channel. We use catalyzing shields because unlike a lot of other frames that you may be shield gating with that constantly take damage and you constantly need to re-shield gate, Titania doesn't necessarily have that much of a problem when it comes to taking damage, as the razor flies that are going to be around you while you are in Razor Wing are going to attract a ton of aggro. Now, I'm not going to say that you're not going to take any damage in every scenario. You are still going to have scenarios where you take damage, but we are going to be running Breed for Spite so we can shield gate with catalyzing shields. Now, we are going to be shield gating with Xata's Whisper. So along with the fact that Xataz is on this build, that it's going to be giving us extra instances of damage, on our Dex Pixia, which is going to be significant damage increases. It's going to be able to shield gate for us at only the low cost of 25 energy. So we have a pool of 613. I'm only level 0 right now. The frame is not leveled up. You're going to have over 700 energy at max rank. So 25 energy to shield gate is not going to cost you anything. And even more so, to bolster the fact that you are going to have your sustainability, we have Equilibrium on here and we have Flow. Equilibrium is going to provide you with significant sustainability when it comes to your energy on a frame like this where Razor Wing is constantly draining your energy while you're in it. Running a setup like this, you're not going to have any issues sustaining energy, especially with the giant pool that we're getting from Flow. Like I said, it's going to be over 700 when you hit max rank. Now, as far as the other mods go on here, we go Power Drift on here because we actually don't need the status immunity on this build or the knockdown immunity, because we get status immunity from our first ability, which is really nice. So you actually don't need to run PSF or anything like that in the slot. You can run whatever you want here. You can run speed, movement speed. I'm running ability strength on here. You can run whatever you feel like. I recommend just not range. Range really isn't important. So I Power Drift on here for strength. We have Precision Intensify on here for raw strength to our 4th ability on Razor Wing. You'll be able to see the damage this is going to help it put out. We have Transient Fortitude on here. This is going to give us more power strength at the cost of not being Blind Rage and not tanking our efficiency. Not tanking our efficiency is going to be really nice, like I said, for being able to shield gate with efficient energy values, but also having good sustainability. We're not going to be wiping out our energy pool instantly. So you're going to be able to shield gate a lot before your energy's gone. We have normal of energy values. Also, we're not going to be losing that much while we're in Razor Wing Blitz, which is going to be really nice. So yeah, like I said, we have catalyzing shields on here. This is going to be our survivability, our shield gating. This mod, last time I checked, it is still bugged. I don't know if they fixed it within the last couple of weeks. I haven't checked in the last couple of weeks, but as far as within the last month, it still works. You don't need a full shield to get the 133. You just need some semblance of shields to get the 133 shield gate. So if you have one shield and it breaks, you still get the 133, rather than if I had the 54 and it broke. It's the same exact thing. Until they fix that, just know that's the way it works. We have Archon Continuity on here, as our weapon is actually going to have Toxin damage raw on it. So our weapon is actually going to proc this. So our weapon will be dealing Toxin along with corrosive damage. So we're getting extra instances of damage, which I'll talk about why that's important when I get over to the weapon. So we have Narrow-Minded on here for big ability duration, as the drain of this ability actually not only functions with efficiency, but functions with duration. A lot of channeled abilities in the game work this way, especially with exalted weapons like on Excalibur, things like that. This is the way they work. So just keep that in mind. And then we have Razorwing Blitz on here. Now, Razorwing Blitz, this is an augment for Razorwing. Like I said, we're always going to be in Razorwing, so it's going to be nice. Every time you cast an ability, you're going to get 25% flight speed and 25% fire rate for 8 seconds. This scales with ability duration, the 8 seconds, and the 25% on each also scales with power strength, as you can see here on the bottom. We have an 18-second duration per cast, and we're getting 65% speed and 65% fire rate per cast. So you'll be able to see the kind of value that we could stack this up to. Now, as far as the arcanes go, we don't really need to bolster Titania herself. Titania herself is totally fine. So what we do instead is we bolster the Dex Pixia to make the Dex Pixia even stronger. Now, there are options here. I would highly recommend that you go for Arcane Pistolier, as this is going to allow you to just spray fire the Pixia. This is not really important if you're mainly using the Pixia to not kill waves. You're just using it to kill prio targets. Like, say you're doing a Cascade, and you're just using it to kill Thrax. You don't really need this, I would say. I've done plenty of them without this. But if you like to wave clear, this is really, really handy, as it'll just let you spam fire your Pixia. Now, the reason I go for precision right here and not velocity is because we are getting very significant amounts of fire rate from Razorwing Blitz. So I don't really feel that we need velocity. I feel like it's kind of overkill. So I went for precision here, flat 300% damage. If you don't have your galvanized sacks up, like I'm going to be showing you on the Dex Pixia, this will come in handy for free base damage, things like that. You know, if you're attacking a lot on Cascade, like I do, you don't always have enemies to continuously kill to get your galvanized stacks up. Sometimes you just got to run over and kill the Thrax instantly with no stacks. So this will help you kill it. So I recommend you guys run something like this. If you guys want to run velocity, though, it's totally fine. This build is going to dish out insane amounts of damage, so you can still run velocity if you so choose to. But for me, I'm going to be running precision. Now, that is going to be the build. Now, as far as the Dex Pixia goes, this is what we're going to be running on the Dex Pixia. Now, as far as the stat line goes, as far as the elements are, we have IPS, we have Blast on here, which is modded on, and we have Raw Toxin, like I said. The Raw Toxin is going to proc Corrosive every time the Toxin procs. So we actually have Toxin, Corrosive, Blast, IPS. So we're getting a ton of value for our CO out of this weapon. And not only that, we're getting Armor Strip, plus we're getting the base damage value out of Blast, which is going to do significant amounts of damage if we're doing any wave clear, things like that. Even a single target damage enemies, it's going to do some nice damage for us. So it's going to be really, really nice. So you're getting your armor strip, you're getting your dot ticks, you're getting your AoE dot ticks plus your singular dot ticks if you want it to be a singular dot tick. And it's really, really powerful overall. So as far as the build looks right here, what we have is we have Prime Heated Charge plus Storm. This is our Blast Elemental combo right here. If you guys want to run 60-60 here, you can. This just takes you from 60 to 84 bullets in the magazine. I like the extra shots. If you don't care for it, go for the 60-60. Totally fine. Galvanized Shot I have on here. This is going to be our additive damage for galvanized, or for per status type. So we're getting our status chance boost, and we're getting 120% direct damage per status type, which is going to be really, really nice with the 7 damage types we're going to have on here. I'm sorry, the 6 damage types we're going to have on here. My apologies. So we have 6 damage types on here. We have pathogen rounds on here for raw toxin damage. We have prime target tracker on here for critical damage, as this is a crit focus setup since we are going to be secondary enervate. Secondary enervate is going to flat bolster our crit per shot hit. This also gets increased with blast ticks, and also the blast ticks will not reset this. The blast ticks will not reset the value of enervate. So if you are blast ticking over 200% on enervate, it will continue to stack until you shoot enough to instance 6 big critical hits. So blast is really, really strong for manipulating secondary enervate. Even though we're not even going to need to manipulate it all that much, just understand that it functions that way with secondary enervate. So we're going to get a whole ton of flat critical values out of this with the ridiculous fire rate that we have. We're getting nice critical damage multiplier out of prime target cracker. We have galvanized diffusion on here. This is going to be our multi-shot stacking. This is going to give us a ton of multi-shot. Really, really nice for stacking up things like enervate and just dishing out a ton of damage. Lethal Torrent for fire rate plus multi-shot. Definitely recommend this over just a flat fire rate mod. Go for this here. And then Pistol Elementalist, since this is going to have Toxin and Blast on it, it's nice to have the status damage on here. There was no room for me to fit a Bane on here, so the status damage is going to fit right here perfectly. Just fine for me. Works really, really nice. The reload speed is nice too for when the recharge starts. Really quick reload. So this is the build I would definitely recommend you guys go with. Now, as far as the explanation being gone over now, the explanation is done. Now, let's talk about how this frame survives. Now, I told you that with this frame, you're going to go into Razor Wing, and you're going to be in Razor Wing the whole time. So right when you go into Razor Wing, you're going to have 6 of these little flies, which is indicated in the bottom right here. And these flies are going to attract the aggro of enemies in front of you, as you can see. Now, what you want to do is you're going to want to cast your second ability once per ability. So cast, and then cycle through, and then cast it, and then cycle through, and just make sure you use all 4. And now if you notice, we have 10 flies down here. Now, these 10 flies are going to be significant when it comes to enemy distraction and just your survivability in general. You can see I could just stand here in the middle of them, and they're so distracted by my flies that they're not even bothering with me. You can see I just took 1 shot, finally. They don't care really to bother with you when all of these flies are up. And like I said too, you're constantly going to be killing, and you can shield gate with your 3. So you see here, you're going to be able to take these enemies out with no issues at all. And you may be thinking to yourself, okay, these are non-Eximus units. They can be distracted by very, light means. Now, let's say what happens here if I spawn in some Manics. If I spawn in some Manics, they don't do level cap damage, but their HP values are estimated to level cap trash, and they are all Eximus units, so they cannot be CC'd. But you will be able to see just how they are still distracted by the flies. The flies still do a very, very good job at distracting them, though you will notice you're taking a bit more damage than you would if they weren't Eximus, because, they're not as easily distracted, not as easily manipulated as enemies that don't have overguard, things like that. You can still see, though, that we have really solid survivability. No one can really mess with us. And like I said, this will dish out a ridiculous amount of damage. So these Jade Eximus units here are just... You can see here that I have Pistolier proc, I have unlimited ammo. You can just spray just the ever-living hell out of it. And you don't have to worry about anything. Up, it's down, get it back up, now it's back up. Now you can just keep spraying, hold down left click. You don't got to worry about nothing. Fully stack up, your augment, make sure you get that max value. You're getting max fire rate values. We get 300% on that, max speed. And then, like I said, cast all those. Make sure you have your 1 on so you can get status immunity on yourself. Now, the 1 will not show right here. It won't show a cooldown. You have to look at your buff bar to see it. So you can see when I cast it, it lasts for 36 seconds, just about 36 seconds here. And you can see, so it lasts a good while. This will give you full status immunity. So you don't have to get worried about getting ticked by anything like heat or electric or toxin or anything like that. Nothing is going to be able to... status proc you. Just make sure that you watch it. I find that it could be a bit annoying since it's not on the bar in the bottom right along with the rest of your abilities that you're constantly looking at. But the fact that you have access to it is just really, really good in general. So yeah, now that's really going to be it for the showcase today, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Go out and give this Titania build a try, because I know it's been getting really popular in the community since the exalted changes. I didn't do a video on it yet, so I want to do a video on it yet. So definitely go out, give this a try. Try it for yourselves. Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And have a wonderful rest of your night, guys. I appreciate you watching.